morning, guys. Actually, it's early afternoon here. So I just wanted to come on. I'm working on a project behind me on the office bed, so excuse that. Okay. So, anyways, I want to relay what's going on in the spiritual realm today, as far as I am connected with it. Right? We know there's things going on all over the world in the spiritual realm. Okay, but in my corner of the spiritual realm, um, that God allows me to know what's going on. This is it. Okay, so crazy story. My mom purchased a book that is like 60, no, 75 years old, right? And she brought it by yesterday. I opened this book up, and it's exactly what's going on in the spiritual realm. I mean, let me read to you. And if I have the time, I will. If not, well, um, putting up the pictures of the actual screenshots that I took of this book, because it's amazing. You guys, it's like exactly what's happening, what the last several videos have been on. So here we go. Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves. This is totally God. The name of the book is The Riddle. I mean, just catch this if you've got the ears to hear. The Riddle of the Stone Elephant. I know that sounds really funny, but okay. We'll get to that in just a minute. Okay? I'm going to go all the way back to what what this is about. Okay. This is so cool. Here we go. The first picture, okay? These are all screenshots of a 75-year-old book that my mom brought by yesterday. Okay, there's like 8 screenshots in here. One of the chapters is, okay, well, first of all, the riddle of the stone elephant. Elephants are very much into family. And I just did a video. The last video was all about the mound of leaves on the earth. And inside the mound of leaves were all your extended family members. So they really weren't leaves. They represented people. And you had around 80 to 100 people in this mound. All your extended family, child of God, you have an assignment that is going to cover them. Your assignment is going to provide financial protection opportunities for these people in the future. You're gonna be a conduit for them to start their own businesses, for them to pursue degrees and education, and your sacrifice, your persecution, your suffering, your travailing, your surrendering to God through the years, through your life, is going to become a pathway, okay, of sweat and tears for God, for God's causes, that you've been living out your life for God's causes, and you are going to do that through the rest of your life. That is forming the pathway for your extended family to receive protection and provision. Bam. So here comes this book yesterday about the mystery of the stone elephant. Elephants hold family ties near and dear. A stone is something that you cannot damage easily. Okay? And this wilderness process for you, love, has created a. Remember, I did that one video on God was putting like cement in your spine? God has been making you stronger and stronger and stronger, child of God. A stone spine. Okay? Because that's what it takes. Okay? For you to finish your race, run it well, and do what you need to do to help your family. And it's going to help other people even beyond your family. But first and foremost, we're going to care for our families, okay? Then beyond, we can be doing kingdom financing and helping other ministries. Okay, amen. All right. So one of the chapters is the eavesdropper identified. This is one of the culprits in your gang stalking, smear campaigning experience that you've been having for however many years. Okay, so God has recently exposed to you who these eavesdroppers are, the main chief monitors. I think there's a lot of monitoring spirits going on, but there's at least one, you guys, that just, you know, if you know, you just found out who one of those monitoring spirits are, the eavesdropper. This is happening, or has been happening over the last few days, last month. A plan misfires. This is another chapter. Chapter 16 in the book is called A Plan Misfires. They had an evil plan that they involved other people into, and they did witchcraft. Okay, there might have been wax dolls. There might have been um, altars with your picture on it. Okay, what some of your hair was on it. Okay, these people were monitoring your social media. They were monitoring you through other individuals, that they would try to catch up on the latest business about you with these other people. So they're trying to, like, track your movements, track what you're doing. What are you up to? Who are you seeing? Are you still seeing that woman? Are you still seeing that man? Okay. Their evil plan involved the most heinous aspects. Okay. Now, how does this occur? Okay, their plan may have been to off you, okay, and also to get you attacked, physically attacked. Okay, so one of the ways that this happens is they can, okay, this is so bad. Okay, one of the ways they can do it is they can just chant their intention for you, that you be unalived. They can just chant it and chant it and chant it, and then they ask the spirit that they're talking to, okay, their spiritual guide, whatever they want to refer to it or call it, they ask that spirit guide to give the message to off you to one of their people. Now, who is one of their people? Another demon, okay? Now, the other demon can be inside of it has to be inside of a human being, okay? We have people, unfortunately, that are really influenced by darkness. I mean, what do you think happens when people just go on these violent rampages, or they kill their family members, or, you can say it's mental health, and I mean, of course, but because nobody in their right mind would ever follow through with something like that. But they are being influenced by voices. You know how they always say, well, I heard voices told me to do this and that. Well, yeah, those are called demons. Okay. But this plan that they vocalized, chanted, and incanted and tried to bring it into being misfired. Because you're still here. You are the one that gets away. You are the one, child of God. The next chapter is called One Gets Away. One gets away. Now, I want to share with you, not only is this you, my love, you get away, precious child of God, but this may also refer to an individual that you are connected with. Maybe you've been giving them money, you've been providing emotional support, and they are connected to this gang, okay, this group of people that pursue you, that hate you. But you have been praying for this person, okay? It might be a youngster, okay? Or somebody that just needs help, somebody vulnerable. Maybe they're an elderly person, or they're can't work, or they're special needs or something. There's one that is attached to these evil people. It may be a child of theirs, or okay, and you don't want to see this one get judged for their actions, even though they're on the perimeter. They're kind of connected, and they may even know, a little bit of what has been going on. But in your big, huge, massive heart, child of God, you have bended a knee, and asked God, please don't bring this one in to the judgment that's coming, rightfully so, on these people that have been after your life, after your assignments, after your future prosperity and the promises that God has made to you. You don't want this one to take a hit, so you've been trying to cover this individual. This thing here, one gets away, it may refer to the fact that that one that you care about, that you've been trying to cover and protect from fallout of the coming judgment is going to be able to get away. That God has seen fit to have mercy on you and honor your request to pull this one out of the oncoming judgment. Next one. Things get rough. That's where we are right now. Next chapter. Things get rough. Okay? Things are rough. Right now they're rough. That gang stalking pile of people that are trying to throw mud on your name and actually trying to get you hurt, they are totally going through it right now. They are totally going through it in the physical realm. Okay, it's not just in the spiritual realm and going to manifest in 6 months or whatever. No, the manifestation is now, and a lot of it is internal. You know, they know that you know. They know the jig is up, time is up. God knows what they're doing. You know what they are doing, and it's time to pay multiple pipers. You one piper. God is the main piper, but the enemy is a key piper that is going to be allowed to come and collect off these people. That's where they are right now. Okay, the next chapter is the next thing for you, child of God. The next two things are for you. This is what is coming up, my loves. The head that moved. Oh boy, I'm going to see if I can find Isaiah, is it 20? Let me see. I have a really beautiful scripture that I read on one of the first videos I ever did for YouTube back last summer. Let me see. I hope I can bring it up. Okay, guys, I did bring up that verse that I wanted to share with you. There's several of them, but for the sake of time, we'll have this one passage be our foundational verse for this video. Okay, it's Isaiah in the Old Testament, Isaiah chapter 22, verses 20 through 24. It's quite a bit. I'm going to read it right now, and then I'm going to break it down. In that day, I will summon my servant Eliakim, son of Hilkiah. I will clothe him with your robe and fasten your sash around him and hand your authority over to him, and he will be a father to those who live in Jerusalem and to the people of Judah. I will place on his shoulder the key to the house of David, and what he opens no one can shut, and what he shuts no one can open. I will drive him like a peg into a firm place. He will become a seat of honor for the house of his father. All of the glory of his family will hang on him. Its offspring, its offshoots, from its lesser vessels, from the bowls to all the jars. Okay, so let's break it down. This is a changing of the guard. Okay, the person that was there was corrupt, and in the verse before 20, God says he's going to like wrinkle him up like a piece of paper and hurl him away, and then that's where he'll live until he dies. Okay, so whoever was in this honorable position of authority, they are being deposed, exposed, they're out of there, and you are in, child of God. That's who my videos seem to be for. That's who seems to be the birds that God gave me to minister to. Okay, so the changing of the guard means you're in. And this is a place of honor. This is a place where you are there for your family, but also the community. You have influence with the temple. Okay, you can close and open doors for the temple. Okay, so you're affecting not just people in Jerusalem, but the entire region of Judah, that whole district of Judah. So, child of God, you are coming into a position of influence, of resources, and power. Now, is this 5 years from now? I don't know. Is it incremental? It may be incremental, where you have one role and you're working in that role, and then that leads into other roles, and that leads into education, so you're able to do another aspect of the role. So it may be over the course of years, but you know and I know that the Lord has showed me plane after plane after plane after plane, and that he has spoken to me about fast tracking, okay? Because if you're in the boat, right, you have been stymied, delayed, thwarted, You have had many years stolen from you, taken from you. And God is saying, don't you worry about a thing, because He is going to fast track you. You're going to get into that center circle right away. Remember, I told you about the spear? So you're going to get into the center circle, and you're going to be operating, in your gifts. And um, quickly you're going to start contributing. Quickly there's going to be fruit. There is a backlog of fruit, you guys, a backlog of fruit, because you've been faithful in defending the Lord, defending the gospel, doing whatever that you could do. You're not perfect, but, just giving it your best. And all that time you were racking up fruit in your heavenly account in heaven, okay? And what's going to happen is in the fullness of time, when God breaks this whole spell that's been going on, and the plan backfires, and things get rough, and all that stuff, when he just busts that whole spell open, which is what he's doing right now, and he brings judgment, and he boxes in all of the perpetrators, which he's doing right now, that's when you're free to grab that mantle, and God's going to present you, and you are going to be in that position that they wanted, and maybe they had to some degree, and they did not want you to step in. Oh, God, right? That's the last thing they wanted. But that's what God is making happen. So I want you to relax, child of God, and know that God is the one that is performing this. God is leading it. God is opening up doors. God is positioning you. So you do not need to be in guilt, in fear, in worry, because you are partnered with God. You are in consecrated covenant with the Lord, and He wants to benefit your family. He wants to protect and provide for them. He wants them to be able to do well in life and do the things that are in their book of life in heaven to do. And you're going to be an assistant to that. You will be an instrument in God's hand, a conduit for them to be able to do those things. Okay, so that is our scriptural foundation for today. Okay, and I'm going to stop this, and we're going to keep going, but I'm like doing all this weird choppy video stuff right now, so hang on. But there is a scripture that I did back in July, and it talks about a new head of the household. The new head moves in to be the governor of a household. And this is, I think it's like Isaiah 22 maybe. Anyways, it says how the new head that governs the home totally prospers under this new person. And they are the steward of the home. Okay? That's you, child of God. That's you. You are going to be the new head, and you are going to move into position. God is going to do it. God is going to move you into position. This relates to the previous video about the extended family that is protected with that blue force field of light. You are the protector of your family line. You are the one that is going to be a provider and be a good governor in some kind of way, you guys, for your family and your extended family through you. They are going to flourish under you, because of you, somehow. It's beautiful. We praise God right now. We thank you so much, Lord, that you are going to perform this, that you are going to do this for your children, that no amount of thievery and mudslinging and, false accusation and, whatever other junk these people are trying to do, all your haters, it's not going to succeed. It's not going to succeed. Okay? Okay, last one. This is right here in your future. The last chapter is called Celebration. Bam, bam, celebration. This is what you're going to be up to. Celebrating. This is what's going to happen to your enemies. I don't know if you can even see that, but anyways, it's this huge storm comes in and lightning, and here's their home. I am completely bad at this, but there's a tiny little home that just gets struck by lightning. It's like this shack out in total isolation. Okay, and then it gets, bam, hit by lightning. This is what's coming for your enemies. This is the binding of the book after the last chapter, which is celebration. So you're going to be celebrating because God is about to put you into position to be able to help your family, help your community, you guys. So That is amazing. Okay, so that's the name of the book, um, The Riddle of the Stone Elephant. The other thing that I saw today, Lord, people, that is going on in the spirit, I wonder if I can even bring that up. Anyways, it is the fact that, just hold on to yourself, okay? All along, okay, so this is pertinent to whoever, okay, whoever this is for. When you were in a situation where you had a prodigal that you were nurturing, giving to, supporting, fasting for, bringing all their issues to God, you were standing in the gap, you were fighting their demons, all the stuff that the stand represents in these kingdom ordained marriage journeys. There was one person attached to your prodigal that your prodigal would share information about you. There is one person that the prodigal is sharing information about regarding this journey, regarding how well you loved that prodigal. The unwavering loyalty, if you passed your tests and you were always, steadfast and never cheated on this person, it's definitely going to apply to you. But even if you're a person where you did take a break from your stand and maybe you did entertain other people, but then you came back to it and got back on that train and followed through. Okay, it's for you all. Okay, there is someone attached to the prodigal. Okay, it might be a relative, it might be a good friend. I feel in my heart that it is someone very close ties with them, like a best friend. Or anyways, they shared this information with their best friend or sibling, like in amazement. Like they would run your emails or texts or the things you said in phone calls or the letters that you wrote by this person. Once in a while, not every time. They're not sharing your stuff every day, but there were a few times where the prodigal was like really taken aback at what you were willing to do to love them, and they shared it. Okay, I gotta wrap this up. That one person said, I'm gonna really be quick on this, you guys. I'm paraphrasing. They challenged the prodigal and said, why are you not going for it with this person? Why are you not doing what you need to do? Why are you not completing what God is asking you to do, which is to pursue this person? Why? Okay, time goes on. This person at some point says to the prodigal, if you don't go for it with this person, I am going to try to pursue them. I am going to see if I can have a future with this person, because you just throw this person away. You ignore them. You don't do what you're supposed to do. And this is a perfectly good, no, this is like an exceptional kind of potential partner. This is somebody who's totally out of the norm. You've ignored them for years, months, and they still support you. Okay, so that conversation happened, and the prodigal was made angry about that, okay? But if you're in this boat, if this video is for you, the prodigal never was moved by that. Even though they didn't like their friends saying that, they did not like their friends saying that, girl or guy, whatever. They didn't, because they wanted the standard all to themselves, but they wanted to go out and cheat on them and be with whomever and just leave them in the lurch. But they don't want them to have a life. They don't want them to ever leave them. That's what I'm talking about. That's who this video is for. All right, y'all, the Lord showed me this morning. It said, the Lord showed me, little bro is ready now. Little bro is ready now. Little bro is ready now. Now, it can be little sister, but this is a person who may be younger, like by 10 years. Like younger than the prodigal, or in some way they are younger. Maybe they have less. Maybe they are younger in their career. Maybe they are smaller in stature in some way. They are, somehow they are, you know, in that way. But it can be a woman, it can be a man. But the Lord showed me a man. They're ready. They're ready. This is the replacement. This is a person who knows the backstory between the stander and the prodigal who never returns, the prodigal who is now in judgment. This person knows it all. And they were admiring the stander and just understanding that the stander was getting rejected and rejected and rejected and even slandered, and they know the whole story, y'all. And they were watching and admiring you from afar. And guess what? Now they're ready. They're ready to come out of the oven. Ding, ding, ding. They're ready to come pay you a call. All right, you guys, have a great day. Take care. And I look forward to seeing you on another video of Part of Something Real. Please like, subscribe, share. Pretty soon I'm going to be adding a Cash App address to these videos, and I don't know what else. I don't know. I'm just following what I am hearing. So, if you want to plant a seed, yeah, you can do that. I might be able to do it on this video. So anyways, all right, you guys, take care. Bye.